rags to riches. I don't need a scale for me to bag the bitches. Ballin' for the times I ate off plastic dishes. Doing what I want, ain't gotta ask permission. Reppin' for my niggas, y'all neglect y'alls. Y'all ain't answering collect calls. How y'all want and don't shop out of the best mall? You're gangin' on shit, nigga, why would we respect y'all? Move the snow until your neck is like an avalanche. And get a rolling off a little white like a dapper ranch. Suckers always talking tree but never had a branch. And for them niggas thinking fucking with me, never had a chance.
What's happening, what's happening, what's happening? We're back with another episode of Mike Chekc. I'm your host, Mikey, the old man with the slow hand, the fortunate one. We're back with another episode. Today we sit down with none other than Kansas City's own, the mayor of the streets, Terrell Ray. He come and spread a little knowledge about what's going on here, event-wise, that he's got going on for you, and also get you to know who he is in hindsight and more. So with that being said, I'd like everybody to welcome Kansas City's own, Mayor Terrell Ray.
What up, man? Thank you for having me, man. Mike Chekc. You on that list of best podcasts, man, on the awards, man.
As I should be.
Definitely. We'll see what happens, man.
So, listen, everybody that's watching, if you're not privy to or not understanding of really why he's here in studio with me right now, he put together something for us, man, that's going to be dope. It's something to be on the lookout for. And it's going up. It's the Kansas City People's Choice Award. So the People's Choice Awards is something that is geared from your peers, client base, and all of that voting for you to give recognition to your talents, services, and offerings that you have to the people. So I'm very excited about being here in this interview with him because he's got a lot of knowledge to spread as far as not just the Kansas City People's Choice Awards, but everything else his philanthropist hand reaches. So everybody give it up for Terrell Ray and let him speak on it a little bit.
Got the little audio going on, okay.
So tell the people your mission here as far as like what you do in the streets of Kansas City. What exactly got you the title mayor of the city?
Well, it was I've been doing things in the community since 2012. A little bit, and that's actually when I took it serious. Should I say I've been doing it beforehand, but I actually took it serious to try to implement change in our culture, not only with adults, but with our children as well, because, they are next coming up, they're our future. So with that, it also got me involved in community events. And it's literally a guy that I know, one of my Facebook friends, every time I would see him out, he would always call me the mayor. Like, what's up, mayor? What's up, mayor? Blah, blah, blah. And then it just literally start picking up. He'll like tag me in posts. We got the mayor. And then from there, it literally just picked up. A lot of other people start calling me the mayor, and then I adapted it as well, simply because of my presence in the city and what I do. I feel like it's definitely more than our actual own mayor, right? Because how often have we saw Slot James come down in the hood, from the 8 years that he was in Kansas City. There was a murder that took place years back. Some guy over the trails on Warnell. And he thought he was doing something by walking the trails in broad daylight. Like, that's safe. You have security with you. He was like, let me show y'all Kansas City is safe. I'm going to walk these trails in the broad daylight. No, it's a lot different, man. You have security with you.
Well, so I'm pretty sure that the title that you carry as far as like mayor of the streets, it's not, I don't think it's an overshoot. I watch and I see the things that you do as far as community-wise. The mayor of the city will never be in tune with the streets of the city that he's the mayor in, like the mayor of the streets. Right. You know what I mean? Because
they're more political.
Yeah, it's not a political tie with you. Right. So it's genuine. I think people appreciate it. I know you got a lot of things going on right now with the youth. I want you to expound on that, give us some light, let the people know. A lot of the names of the groups you got going on for the kids? I seen you had a little cooking thing, teaching young men how to cook.
Yeah, we started off doing a cooking class. We call it Chef's Table. Myself, Ryan Harvey, Chef Rose Ragland, and Boomy Hamilton. It was an idea that I had been sitting on for a little bit, and literally I was waiting for a kitchen to open up to say, hey, you could bring your youth here and be a part of it. I reached out to a couple of restaurants. They wasn't having it. They said no. So, that kind of set me back. And then Diane with the YMCA on Linwood, I went in there for something, and I was like, oh, wow, they have a kitchen. Let me see if this would be a good opportunity to start this program. So this month was our second one. And, we taught the young men how to cook spaghetti, homemade spaghetti, nothing, in a can, or everything was homemade. Garlic bread, salad, banana pudding. This past one, we taught them how to barbecue, and they torched the hell out of the hamburgers. Torched the hell out of. We couldn't enjoy one hamburger.
So is it the same group of kids, or does it switch up?
It's different groups. So anybody that registers their young boys, ages, the Chef's Table is 13 and up. And all you got to do is register. It's free.
It's free.
Free of charge. We go in our pockets.
That's the thing right there that should be the leading factor, that it's genuine, that it comes from a good place of experience to teach and show, is because it doesn't alienate a parent with a price tag. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because a lot of times they'll have community centers, community activities and all that, but they still cost. And a parent can't afford that. That's why they ain't a part of nothing, no way. You know what I mean? So with you doing that for free, that's love. And it's appreciated, I'm sure, especially by those young dudes, to learn something and not have to always learn it from a woman. Because to learn it from a man lets it know in perspective that that's not just woman's work.
Yeah, and that, there are men out here in the community that care. We actually have another program as well. This is an annual workshop where we teach the young boys how to tie a tie, how to iron, how to write a resume. We teach them about credit and checking accounts. And then we also have speakers that come from different backgrounds. Every year I try to get someone that has been in the prison system to come and talk to the boys, because we don't like to spend a whole lot of time directing their attention towards the streets and what happens, because they can see that on the news every single day. We try to teach them and show them there are bigger things out there outside of that block that they live in. As long as they're willing to work for it, they can get to it. I'm pretty sure, with your story, my story, a lot of people have different stories of success, and that we literally came from nothing, probably had to fight a couple of times in our life, a lot of times in our life, to get to where we're at right now. And I tell my son that all the time, that I'm doing everything in my power for you to live a great life, so that you never have to, have to claim a block or feel like you have to be involved in gang activity or block activity, Right.
So, but when you're starting off with an idea of doing such a thing, how hard is it to get people to grasp to it and to come on in, especially like the other guys that you got that are teaching the kids how to cook, or the guys that are helping you teach these kids how to tie ties. In the fruition of the idea of you saying, I want to put a course together to teach these young black men how to cook, how hard is it to get people to jump on board and be like, okay, I'll let you use my venue to cook, or I'll help you out with showing them, or you know what I mean? Especially like reputable people.
When I first started, it was actually harder, and that's what I tell people all the time. Even with businesses and entrepreneurs, support doesn't just come immediately.
Right.
When I first started doing this, I didn't get the support, and I was one of those guys like, dang, why am I doing this for? Nobody want to back me. But as the years come about, and then people start to really see that you're genuine, they see that your heart's in it and that you're serious, it literally is a lot easier now than it was when I first started back in 2012. So, I always have men in the community saying, hey, Ray, whenever you do something with the young guys, I want to be a part of it. Even moms, even women, they want to be involved as well. Facilities-wise, it's really who you know, because a lot of times, still in this day and age, there are facilities who will not, buy into what you're doing for young men. They don't come out and say it, but they just won't say.
They don't really care.
Yeah, they don't care.
Right.
Like I said with the chef's table, I reached out to many restaurants saying, "Hey, I'm doing something wonderful." Restaurants, organizations saying, "Hey, can I use your kitchen?" And they just was like, "No," in so many words. And I said, "That's okay." It ain't gonna stop nothing.
I can only imagine that what you're doing, and the constant grind and the hustle of it, it only gets easier of people wanting to participate going forward with
exactly.
Things. You know what I
mean?
mean?
I choose people who are genuine as well,
Right.
not someone that wants to be in the camera because they see what we're doing.
And
I'm
want
very
their name to
picky.
get out there,
Yeah, want their
right.
name to do something for themselves because, like Ryan Harvey, take him for example. He is somebody who has a story that I can't tell. He won custody of his daughter through the state of Kansas. Custody, that's unheard of with a black man in Kansas. I can't provide that story or share that story or tell that story to kids about child support, custody battles, because I haven't been through that.
Right.
So it's great to have that guy. He approached me and saying, "Hey, Ray, I love what you're doing. How can I work with you?" And I knew immediately, once he told me his story as a stranger, I knew he was 100% and ready to devote himself to giving back to the community. And, to this day, he's still doing fabulous work. I'm glad that, me and Ryan connected because I love having different backgrounds that I can't relate to.
Right.
I don't like to lie to kids about nothing. I don't.
That's the thing, and they see through that.
Yeah.
They see through that, and it only makes a story even harder to sell when you got to put the lie with it.
Right.
So, I'm speaking on my behalf, and I probably can speak on the city's behalf when I say this. We do appreciate your efforts. We appreciate your tenacity and perseverance with keep pushing and doing it because
Appreciate it.
a lot of people probably would give up after the first failed attempt.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Many times I wanted to give up.
Right, which I'm sure.
Even when you do something with the boy and then their parents call you and say, "Oh man, he's in juvenile," or he done did something.
Oh,
now
you
he's
get
in
them
jail.
kind of
All
calls?
the
You be
time.
on, so you're
All
a
the
big
time,
brother.
yeah.
He's a big brother.
All the time, man. Can you go down and talk to my son? He done did something stupid. I just feel like, oh man. But that was
battle.
us.
It's a constant battle.
That was us
It's
as
never
kids.
gonna be easy.
Never.
I honestly think we were worse as children because we come from an era where coming off the porch was a lot younger age.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? These little dudes ain't even, my son's 16, and it's hard for me to come down on him like an iron fist ruler dude.
Yeah.
Because I look at him at 16 and I side by side it with me 16 like, I need you's a punk. Go on about your business. You know what I mean? Because at 16, at that age, I was already I was knee deep in it. You know what I mean? Shit, I got shot up when I was 16. So,
And it's a lot more stuff for them to do now. There's a lot more organizations like myself.
But it's
We
just
didn't
not
have
so
that.
much as that. That's not it. It's not that it's so much organizations that are positive that they see. They don't see a lot of negative.
Very
That's
true.
what it is. They don't
Unless they
see-
want to be involved in it.
It's really none, period,
Yeah.
though. The negativity that they want to be involved is a farce.
Mm-hmm.
They'll spend 12 hours of the day in the house on the game, 6 hours of the day probably, and faking
Doing
like something's
something else.
going on. But then, right back to it.
Yeah.
So when we were that age, the negativity was right outside of our door. And
It was out there.
It wasn't so much as negativity, it was the glitz and glamour of the
Right.
negativity. You know what I mean? They called us to the street. You 13 now. What you doing there? Man, come on down here. Come
Yeah,
get
we
some of
we
this
was
money.
more outside,
Right.
so it was a lot easier to get involved because you see it.
But it was there, though. It was prevalent. It's not prevalent anymore. There's not really any blocks that you can ride down that's got 10 drug dealers on the corner.
Just sitting there.
Just
yeah.
standing there.
Yeah,
you
one
know?
of the other little guys that we had, man, I think he's 15 years old, live on 55th and something, Garfield, Olive, somewhere around there. And it was, wanted to be in that life so bad. And I'm just like, looking, I try to talk to him, man. I'm like, dude, really? I don't think you really understand.
He doesn't?
This is not what you really want, And I show him, getting shot in the arm and showing it. And it's like, dude, you don't want that.
No. But I had a conversation with someone the other day, and I told him, and I understand, I totally get it now, that you can really not hold a young teenager accountable for their decisions because they don't have the mind frame of rationale yet, you know. And I can honestly say that because I look back on my age at that point, and I did a lot of wild shit that wasn't rational. You know what I mean? But I thought it was okay to do. You know what I mean?
Because of who you was with, though.
It wasn't just based on who I was with. It was based on the perception of what I was going to be, what I was trying to be. You know what I mean?
That life you glorified.
Right. Yeah. And so when you get older, you know how to use both sides of your brain at one time. And so when you being older, you be like, yeah, no. You know what I mean? Like as a youngster, but that's why they did the reform on the law of you can't give a juvenile life sentence anymore. Because you can't say he's 13, catch a life sentence, that he'll be that same person
that
at 25, 30.
Their brain isn't developed.
It isn't developed enough to make the right decisions. You know what I mean? A lot of poor choices will be made. And a lot of times, like you said, it's around the people. I know for certain right now in these little dudes' day and age, it's around the older niggas that they around. You know what I'm saying? It's on them. Because it's not so much as your environment anymore. Because your environment might be 55th and whatever, but there's only like maybe 2 or 3 guys over there that's like, you know what I'm saying?
A lot of their
environment
be 130th, but they want to come down
so it'd be a
different one. Yeah,
it'd be a person that got them thinking that it'd be a nigga that ain't even active no more
at all,
preaching that shit to them young niggas.
And you know what though, that was never active though.
Yeah, was never active.
He can sell that story to them because they're the only ones that's buying it.
Right.
You know,
until somebody like me, his age, come around and be like, that nigga's a bitch.
Right. Who are you?
I've seen that. Listen, man, I've been in that situation a couple of times where I heard a nigga say my OG, and I say, who you trying? He'd be like, and he say him, and I be like, you an OG now? Like, dude, you like these little dudes? You just a bitch.
Old. That's it.
Yeah, you was a bitch the whole time. You know, but that's their thing though. So, but with you being involved with them in that capacity, it's a good thing because me, man, fuck y'all. I ain't about to get involved because I ain't with nothing.
It ain't for everybody.
It's not.
And that's true.
It's not, but with you being the one that has, reached into that pot, it's a good thing. It's a beautiful thing because you don't have a lot of people that are willing to. Not only willing to, you don't have a lot of people that are willing to take rejection in the beginning of. A lot of people would give up.
Give up quickly because, I mean, the littlest thing as far as, a kid getting in trouble is kind of disheartening because it's like, dang, you went out, you failed, and you really didn't know. Especially if you have a room full of 20 boys, it's expected that 1 or 2 of them is going to get in trouble, unfortunately. You may not want it, but that's not failure. Failure is giving up on them, and that's something that I didn't want to do. Even, I'm at home, and I'm just like, even as a parent, I feel like I failed my kids at times. When I'm out here doing everything I can for everybody else, planning an award show, planning a workshop, speaking at different venues, and then my kids get the least time of me. I'm like, dang, am I failing? But then it's like they understand in a way that my kids are well taken care of, so daddy wants to help other kids.
Right.
And I hope they really understand that. And it's not that I care about other kids more than them, but I know,
those kids need
need it, yeah.
So how old are your children, if you don't mind me?
My son is 15, my daughter is 9.
Oh, okay. You got big kids.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure they understand what you're doing.
They love it.
It's not a selfish reason of what you're doing. You know what I mean?
Right. And my son is involved as well. Like anything that I do with the boys, I always make sure that he's there as well. So every workshop, chef's table, everything that I do, my son is involved in it as well because, I may miss out on the opportunity to teach him at home, but I can teach him at this workshop. And
then I think it probably it'll carry over more with him to see you in the process teaching others, not just him.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just to show him that being a caring person is okay.
Yeah.
Because I come from a background that's not. Fuck you. Yeah. Ain't helping nobody. You know what I'm saying? Like
exactly.
And so for him to see that you're willing to, it'll bring him to a point where he know being nurturing is not a soft point. Mm-hmm. It's a manly thing.
You pass that torch.
We've talked enough about them damn kids. FTK.
Fuck
them kids. You said fuck them kids, man. We gonna talk about this motherfucking award show because that's what we here for, like, buddy. Listen. I want you to know one thing for certain, two things for sure. You could have been anywhere in the world tonight, but you're here with me, and I appreciate that. I am Mikey, the host of Mike Chekc, the old man with the slow hand, the unfortunate, fortunate one. We are here tonight joined by Terrell Ray. He is the host and the coordinator of the Kansas City People's Choice Awards. We got them coming up. We're going to talk about them. We're going to talk about dress codes, ticket prices, I'm going to let him get more into it. I ain't going to keep you waiting, ladies and gentlemen.
Everything.
Yeah, I'm going to let that man spill off into it. I'm going to piggyback some questions, but we see you in the comments. Like, comment, and share this video for me, please.
Yeah, whatever questions y'all have, y'all
whatever
can answer.
Questions you got
can
going
ask.
on, throw them up in the comments. We're going to read along with them, answer them, but I got questions too. Listen, I want everybody to know my vision for this thing is everybody pull up in tip-top motherfucking shape. You hear me? The bitches is looking good. She got her toes out. It's cracking all the holes out. You hear
What
me?
up, Twan?
Cash doll ponytails and quinceañera dresses. That's what I'm thinking. You hear me? So we gonna get into it and we gonna let it be known what, whether you're a nominee, a presenter, or any of that, what you motherfucking can't wear. You hear me? We gonna get in what you should be wearing. I want everybody to feel good about this event because this is something that we're doing on a opulence level.
Definitely.
But for us as niggas.
Yeah, it's to change that culture of we can't get dressed up and have a good time.
Right.
So you got to come clean. Like the attire, it's gentleman attire. It's classy women. You know, pull out those best pumps you got. You know, the heels. Men pull out. You know, go to the store. I don't even care if you go to Ross, Gorman's or something. Do something out of the norm that you typically aren't used to.
All I gotta say is this: nigga, don't lose your bitch. You hear me? Listen, do not do this.
You know?
Since you want to come this motherfucker half stepping and doing all that bullshit, these niggas about to be in there with them elf shoes on, with their ankles showing. Listen,
man, so
don't
many
lose
people
your bitch.
Have said, man, look, I done already got fitted. I'm ready. I'm dressed.
Right.
It's so many. They excited because this is what Kansas City needed.
Yeah.
A reason to get dressed up and be an adult.
Right. And but you know, at the same time, I think the dress code, the connotation of what the event is and gonna be is one thing, but I think the thing that is the air of it is the recognition of your customers, your peers, and all of that for the people who've been nominated. You know what I mean? It's a bunch of salty dogs out there, which I'm sure.
It's a lot of salty people. And they don't understand, you know, the concept of the awards is to recognize, is to support each other, is to bring in customers that you may have not met if it wasn't for this awards. And already, the awards is still a month away, and people are still, I mean, they already telling me.
You got a pregnant bitch award?
Nah, he said I'm trying to sit next to the pregnant bitches.
So if it's good,
somebody just gonna be there that's pregnant. Right. It's a section for the pregnant chicks.
What a bitch gonna do to get the pregnancy of the year award?
Yeah, so you know, it's all about, man. People already hit me up saying, man, I've got booked clients because of this. Even just being a nominee, people have reached out to me. I'm doing my job. This is a networking event, bringing the customer to the business, to the entrepreneur, to the people that's grinding, that's hustling.
But see, I'm sure that the people that are salty, they put it, and I'm sure it's some non-believers out there. See, I've seen the tallies. I ain't seen who won. I just seen some analytics about the numbers of how the voting is going and how many voting,
and
how
you've
many
seen
votes
a lot
has
of
been
people
in.
you don't know, right?
And I've seen a lot of shit, right? But I'm almost sure that even with that being said, the people that are salty, and their reason for being salty is because fuck the analytics to them. They think you handpicked everybody.
Not at all. Because my son's barber, you know, for an example, Hollywood Cuts is an extremely great barber. One of the best, especially when it comes to designs. He's probably the coldest I've seen in the city. He didn't make it. I could have easily
slipped him in, right?
Yeah, let me move this guy out. I'm gonna put him in.
But like I said, that's a Mad Hatter that's saying that.
Yeah.
Because the one thing about it is, the people that are upset should not be upset with you. You need to be upset with your client base, your family,
yourself,
your friends, and yourself for not promoting yourself.
Because you saw it and you ignored it. It's a lot of people that will not admit it. They saw that link and they said, it's not going to do anything.
Right.
Oh, this is just another idea that's going to go nowhere.
But then when the nominees came out, it's like, I didn't make the list.
You know, now you want to speak up, but you had a whole 3 weeks You saw that link. A lot of people may have didn't see it, and I'll give them the benefit of the doubt, but it's a lot of people, excuse me, that did.
That smart shooter. He said they can't get pregnant again.
Yeah.
That's fucking genius.
He's a genius.
That was fucking genius. That was GOAT level shit, B. You preaching the gospel, man. I see you. Come forth to the congregation, shooter. You hear me? Tell him this shit again.
Right, he should be on here with me, man.
Yeah.
Where you at? Pull up.
Nah, shooter don't need to come. Shooter be on some bullshit. Listen, yeah, they have to tell their people to vote. And with the voting thing is, you don't, just one vote, it's enough, it's appreciated, but it's unlimited votes until the 31st.
Gotta continue
so if
to
you're
vote.
voting for Mike Chekc to be Podcast of the Year, which I, most graciously think you are and would like you to do, please go in there and give me like 10 votes a day. Keep me on top, baby. Keep pushing
voting.
that motherfucker. Bop, 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 bop. And then go on about your business. You hear
We
me?
got 74,000 votes already in 2 weeks.
See, that's a lot. That's a lot of participation.
Yeah. Even when I first did the first link, I had 1,000 votes in 1 week.
What category is you getting the most pings for?
I think it's the dance team, I believe.
That's like the little majorette girls?
I believe they was number one last voting thing, and I think they're still leading. The Arthur category, they got a lot of votes. Let me see what else. There's one more that had a lot. I can't think. It's 55 categories, so excuse me, I can't remember all, but it's literally every single one of those categories has more than 10,000 votes. So people aren't just saying I'm going voting for one and then not filling it out. They're voting for a lot of people.
They're taking it serious.
Yeah, they're taking it serious and voting for who they believe in, their friends. And a lot of people, they will say it's a popularity contest. And half of that is true.
Because
you
it's
vote for
your
who you know.
right.
It's the same as the Hoodie Awards. Joseph Cutts won Best Barber in the United States simply because the entire Kansas City voted for him. We beat out other bigger cities because of us. That's the same exact format. You vote for who you know. It's not about talent because there's no way to engage.
Everybody
that.
knows that,
right?
right.
I would have to sit barbers right here. How I'm going to vote for instance, best event. That's strictly what people think.
What people think, right?
Not
Who
me.
attends your events,
Yeah.
right?
You
So,
know?
but like I said, it all goes down to your customers, family, friends, and you marketing yourself to be a part of it. A lot of people didn't really want to be a part of it. That's what I feel as though, like
They don't want to be a part of it at the beginning.
at the beginning, right? Until they seen the traction that it made. Now everybody want in, but too late. Just
Too late. Yeah.
You're done for.
Next year, it's always
Maybe
next year.
next year. You hear me? I do appreciate everybody that has voted for Mike Chekc.
It's a lot of close ones. Podcast is close.
Right.
Podcast is close.
Well,
The Arthurs is close.
just
Best
expect-
restaurant close.
Just expect Kanye West storm the
Hey,
stage from your
I'm
boy if I don't motherfucking win.
Hey, I better
Who
vote
is this
for him.
nigga? You hear me?
Because it's close, and that's what
Who
I
is
like.
this nigga?
It is a lot of close. There's literally out of the 55, there's only maybe 10 that has already been decided. Every single one. The rest
Everybody
of
else is gone.
them, it's down to the wire. And I bullshit you not. It's down to the wire.
Well, keep voting for Mike Chekc, man. Hit that link, man. Vote for MikeChekc.com, man. Podcast of the Year. I've been doing things you other niggas can't. And I ain't talking about them other podcasts because I don't want no smoke at the award show. This be like the Source Awards with Death Row in there.
Even the podcast, I did not know there were so many podcasts
Yeah, I
in the
didn't
city.
either.
This is the lovely thing about it, Mike, is that you get to see
It's
so
Mikey.
many people. Mikey, my bad. You get to see so many people that you never knew existed.
Yeah, that's the cool part about
Yeah.
it. But even though the people that you didn't, it's people that I've seen on there. Like I know that person. I didn't know they were in this type of business.
Exactly.
So, but we talked about this a little earlier before we started shooting. Is how the event itself is paying it forward for people that are nominated, were once nominated, and all that. As far as business wise, because you said there's a lot of people they've been booked for styling people for this new event
Man.
that's coming up. You know what I mean? So
Hair, nails,
all of that.
styling.
Yeah.
They hit me up saying, hey, just thank you.
Right.
I've done my job. It ain't about money for me because I turn right back around. I throw another community event. I throw free workshops for kids, 50 kids. You have to feed those kids. So imagine the money that I will get from this event,
It
I'm
goes right
pouring
into
it
another
right
one.
back to the community.
Right.
I don't need, I'm not bragging or nothing, but I'm not broke. I live a great life. I've hustled for the life that I live now. So this event right here is only going to help me give back even more. You know, I gave money out of my own pocket when the federal government shut down. When I asked the community to step in and say, hey, we need to help our own. How can we come together and get grocery gift cards? You know, and I gave $250 of my own pocket as well as other people donating. You know, I was one of a very few who did that for strangers. So this money that I'm getting, Mikey, it goes right back.
Right. That's
You know?
But you know, like I said, you can tell that it's from a genuine place. It's not. It doesn't feel like, from a promoter standpoint, this is what the event is. It's like, I'm gonna throw it out there, and if it flop, it flop. If it blow up, it blow up. It feels like you're invested in it, not just money wise, but in the vision of what it should be.
Definitely.
So with that being said, the people that are watching, for the ones that do plan on attending the event, the ones that are being a part of the event, I want to hear out of your mouth. What is it, your vision? What do you think? What is it your sights for the event to be like?
This one or just
this one? Yeah.
For this one, I really want people to come together and support Kansas City. That's the vision. I want people to come in. They're going to look at the room and they're just going to feel, you know, and just all like, wow, so much black excellence in one room, where we're able to come together and then leave together without nobody getting physically harmed, nothing happening. People accept their awards, people shaking hands, meeting each other, saying, oh man, I didn't know that you did this. Let me take your telephone number.
Network.
That's the vision.
Right. Yeah, because I'm sure outside of the attendees, or mixed in with the attendees, will be a lot of business owners.
A lot of business.
A lot of people.
Well, just think the nominees itself is 165.
So that takes up
Exactly.
Right.
And let me state this as well. The reason why there's not a lot of nominees in each category is because it just won't allow, the venue won't allow it. If I have, for example, 10 nominees in each category, that's over 350 people. That's a lot of people. Actually, it's over 500 people. You don't want an event just filled with nominees. You've got to bring in the clients. So exactly. And to network, because if say for instance, if I need something, a car mechanic, I'll never know who does it unless I come to this event, shake hands, they come up on stage, best mechanic, you'd be like, oh, okay, now I know who I can take my car to. Right. There's going to be a lot of people to walk across that stage where you have seen them out and about. Now you get to understand what they do in Kansas City.
Right. So I feel like, from my standpoint of looking at it, you've got it all thought out on a level of, for it to be successful, for it not only to be successful, but for it to be this glamorous night.
And
you
to
know what I
continue
mean?
on.
And
that's
to
the
continue
goal.
on, right.
For 10, 15, 20 years, this Kansas City People's Choice Award can have, because guess what? The Pitch Awards does the same exact thing. Mm-hmm. I wonder, are they, getting the same animosity and negativity when they do the same exact thing?
Just hopefully the people that are salty about it will take it more serious next year, and campaign themselves to a position of being nominated for next year's. Because if this goes out, which I'm sure it is, it's going to go off without a hitch. I'm just as excited as anybody else that's not just involved in, but just to have it here, period, just to have something recognition-wise, period. Next year, people will campaign more for it and just be gearing up for it.
Yeah.
Like you got hairstylists here. When I was young, they would gear up to go to the hair shows out of town.
The Bronner,
you know what I mean? So let's gear up for our Kansas City People's Choice Awards every year, just like that. Because I don't fuck with nobody saying. I receive an award, which I feel accomplished. Mm-hmm. I ain't never received nothing but a motherfucking participation ribbon.
And I appreciate that, because you know what though? That shows how humble, how grateful you are
for my people,
for your people,
right?
Because it's just a trophy. You're getting a trophy. It's not to say technically you're the best,
no,
but it's simply because people voted for you and said, "Hey, I fuck with Mikey."
And that's the thing that makes me excited. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's cool with me. You feel me? But at the same time, it also puts me in a position of, when I do these shows, I try to do my best. Yeah. I try to. Like right now I'm doing interviews, and I'm trying to get my interview skills
because you could have done this the cheap way, and just set your phone up on
Right.
Facebook Live.
Right.
But
And
you
said,
are
"Pull up."
investing. Yeah, you're investing in yourself.
Yeah.
You know, you've
I've said that
interviewed Rich.
before. I've said that before. That I feel as though like this for the audience. I want you to watch this and look at it and feel like I'm putting a professional effort behind it.
Like,
Not only that,
like any other podcast.
right.
You know?
Not only that, I want to feel like I'm putting a professional, push behind it. You know
And that's
what I'm
why
saying?
I actually wanted you to do the red carpet interviews.
Right.
Not because you simply are Mikey and I fucks with you. No, because I see how you are doing your podcast.
Right.
If you were just fucking around, you know what I'm saying? I listen to your shit. If you were just fucking around, not really taking it serious or, wasn't on your P's and Q's, I'd be like, nah, he ain't got it. But just based on this right here, how you're answering questions and the dialogue is straight off the top of your head, you ready for that.
Right. Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention, ladies and gentlemen, I will be doing red carpet interviews, bitch. So you better come dressed to the motherfucking nines. You coming to motherfucker with them Harriet Tubman Church Lady 2000s on. You coming there with some first slides on. Oh, we going to be on camera, too, on the red carpet, talking this dumb shit just like any other time in front of the motherfucking step and repeat. So if I do reach out to have a conversation with you, the nominees, I'm sure it's so many of them that I'll be lost in the sauce on who's a nominee. But I will be touching bases with some nominees on their way into the venue, getting your side of the story of why you think you lost. All that bullshit.
How they gonna know they lost? They won't know what to.
They just motherfucking know.
So they got a feeling they lost.
You came in this motherfucking dress like you lost, bitch. Look at that. That's a loser's outfit. You hear me? Not only that, I'll be presenting an award. He got me tagged up with this little big head girl. I'll be presenting an award.
So beautiful, Ashley Clark. Y'all gonna make a great team, man.
That's my outside jump. Ashley Clark on the red carpet with me. I'm talking about this little big head girl.
Oh, you mean the presenter? Who are you with? Crystal?
No.
Who you with?
I'd rather not say her name. To be continued. Y'all just be on the
I
lookout for
gotta
me
look
and the
at the
little
list.
midget. She a little midget.
Who is? Let me see. Who did I patch you up with?
Red carpet interviews. But yeah, Shooter, you gave me the name. The name Mike Chekc. It came from Shooter the homeboy. Listen, I'm going to let it be known so when it get big, nigga, don't be trying to sue me, nigga. I'm going to tell you that's some bullshit.
Who are you with on the presenter? You got me thinking.
The little big head girl looked like Black Tweety Bird. What's her name? Raven.
Oh, Raven. Okay,
Right.
yeah. Gotcha. Yeah, that's a perfect match.
Look, my dudes, I appreciate that. The Rich interview was classic. I appreciate that.
Yeah, that Rich interview, because you know what I mean? People has reached out to Rich to do an interview and he told them no.
Yeah.
So that tells you how much respect he has for you.
Yeah.
Because he see what you're doing.
Yeah.
So,
And that's what I tell niggas. That's why I'm a motherfucking shoe-in for Podcast of the Year event, man. You niggas can't do what I do. You niggas can't reach where I reach, man. I'm gonna keep this interview thing going all summer long, man. I felt as though I didn't want to just be in here doing a diatribe every other week about what's going on the net.
Have one person watching you.
Yeah. That ain't never motherfucking happened. Don't be disrespectful, Terrell.
No, not you. Remember the video we just watched? And wasn't nobody on that live. Like, you might as well cut it off.
Right. Yeah, nah. But I wanted to get into. I wanted my audience to get into a groove of seeing me sit down with people and not just talk shit about what's today's topics and everything, but talk more on what it is you got going on and just bring. And I think that Rich interview was my segue into it. To me, that was the larger scale for me because I knew that up until that point, he's probably only got a 2-minute stand-up video with somebody doing an interview. For
Rich
me to sit down with him for
much.
an hour. It shows my range. It shows my reach.
It shows respect.
And it shows respect.
Because I really feel like Rich would not have done that if he was really just on some bullshit, podcast. But, I give it up to you. When you first said you was doing a podcast, I was like, that's what's up. But then I was like, he actually followed through, and he has a great setup. Because when people say podcast, Facebook Live ain't no podcast.
No.
You know what I mean?
Audio.
Yeah, that's just audio. So
audio.
you followed up and just seeing the studio, man. Hey, hats off to you, dog.
I appreciate that, Pep.
Hats off.
I appreciate that. We coming up on the last leg of this show, man. We only gonna do 45 minutes, man. I do appreciate you stopping through, Mr. Terrell Ray, the mayor of the city, the event coordinator and host for the Kansas City People's Choice Awards. he said he has 74,000 votes right now, so I want to send
Melissa
a shout
Brown,
out.
she on there.
That's
on
my
there.
sister.
Yeah, she on
she
there
didn't
for
even know it.
Yeah, she on there for is it Best Cater? I mean
Yeah,
Best
she
Cupcake.
didn't even know it. She said, I don't know where this came from.
Man, I seen her now. I said, I have no idea who that is.
Right. She ain't got no idea who she
Yeah.
is on Facebook. So what the fuck y'all doing on Facebook?
But that just goes to show you that popularity
had
is
nothing
not
to do
all,
with
yeah,
it. It was
it's not
all
always
about.
constant.
It was about the quality of your work.
Yeah, because people, I was like, what? You know, I had another person mad at me because they didn't get on. But I am not going to cheat nobody.
Right.
I'm not cheating nobody. Period. You know what I'm saying? Because it just, I will be taken away from somebody. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I wonder where he found the studio.
Tickets are going to go back on sale once I am able to go and check out the new venue because we had to upgrade from the older spot.
Give them a reason why you had to upgrade venue so they know what's up with this event.
The first venue only held about 430 with chairs, 530 standing. We sold that. We sold 430 tickets already with a month to go. So, and then vendors was already sold out, 12 vendors. So it was in our best interest to go ahead and seek for another location that's bigger so more Kansas City can be a part of it. So we finally, it's been about a week. We finally found a location that should be big enough for a little bit more. And tickets will go on sale hopefully tomorrow. I'll be able to check out the space, make sure that, we got VIP covered. We have regular general admission covered. We got the vendors covered. We got the nominees covered. And then I'll announce that. So if you haven't already, go to the event page, the Kansas City People's Choice Award, and click that you're going so that way you can, or I think even interested, so that way you can stay updated with the information because a lot of people, they miss it on my page and I don't want them to miss the opportunity to get tickets.
So somebody asked if there's going to be more VIP tickets available.
Well, I just answered that if she was paying attention. Yeah,
I guess I wasn't paying attention.
She got to pay attention.
That's my little relative. I'm talking about my
No.
little relative.
I mean, I still get down.
No, I do too. So
You know.
I have to go to hell or high water about that one. That's butt, y'all.
But yeah, as long as it allows it, yes, there will be more VIPs. I don't like to, like you said, our promoters will sell something because it's all about the money. Mm-hmm. With me, I want to make sure that it's there.
And everybody gets what they pay for and looking forward to.
When they come in, they're going to know this is my seat, not, I pay for VIP, why am I not getting a seat? I'm going to make sure I have this amount of number blocked off for everybody before I say, let's just make some more money on the account of my people.
So the shooter, he's doing a new venue, so within the next, 48, 72 hours, you'll be releasing the tickets, what the prices will be on the new tickets, if not changing or whatnot?
Well, the prices will be, because we hit y'all with the early bird, which was $10, then we went to $15, and then the VIP was $35 for the early bird. So once we release them again, it'll be $25 and $50. So if y'all didn't take advantage of the 200, we had 200 tickets that sold. 200 tickets that sold at $10 and $15, and then I think 50 VIPs for $35. That to me is great. That's phenomenal.
Well, listen, man. Everybody, just stay on your updated with his page to keep the update of how the event's doing, where the event gonna be at, the ticket prices and sales and all of that. Just know that the dress code is formal. Men, if you got a suit jacket, get a suit jacket. You hear me? Ladies, if you come in there with some kitten heels on or some furry slides, you will be escorted out by fashion police. Listen, we at the last leg of this episode.
No athletic wear will be allowed.
Yeah, no athletic wear. So with the last leg of this episode, I want to tell everybody I appreciate you being here with me. You could have been anywhere in the world tonight, but you're here with me, and I appreciate that. I am Mikey, the host of Mike Chekc, the old man with the slow hand, the unfortunate one. I want to leave you with a tidbit of game because, like I always said, I'm going to give you a game of the day every time we shoot. And the game of the day is this. Support starts with everybody that's around you. If they don't support your vision in the beginning, don't let them support your vision when it blows. I understand everybody is not going to see what it is you see and see things to go as far as you see them. But appreciate the ones that were there on the ground floor and appreciate the ones that were there on the sideline watching you go up instead of getting on ground floor with you. You always remember this. Stock prices go up when things get better. So, like he said on the ticket sales, the early bird special was $10. Since you didn't believe in it then, and we sold all out and had to get a bigger venue, now your dumb ass got paid $25. So remember, stick with people for what they are and who they are to you. And if they got an idea you believe in and you behind them with it, start on the ground level with them, because can't nobody beat the ground level players. You hear me? So with that being said, this has been another episode of Mike Chekc. Yeah, have a good one, man. I'll be back with another interview. I got somebody. Hi.